హలో ఎవ్రీవన్, వెల్కమ్ టు అవర్ ఛానల్. ఈరోజు మనం పాయిజన్ డిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్కి మీన్ ఎలా కనుక్కోవాలో చూద్దాం. నాతో పాటు మీరు కూడా రెడీ కదా? సో మనం ఇప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం. మీన్ ఆఫ్ binomial distribution, which is also called as the first central moment of Poisson distribution. Therefore, mean is equals to expectation of x is equals to summation x into p of x. Here for the Poisson distribution, the x value is taken from x is equals to 0 to infinity x into p of x. Here p of x is nothing but the probability mass function of Poisson distribution. We know that the PMF of Poisson distribution is nothing but e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of x by x factorial. This is the PMF, right? Just we need to substitute this formula, substitute this PMF in the first equation. Therefore, summation x is equals to 0 to infinity x into e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of x by x factorial. Therefore, summation x is equals to 0 to infinity x into e to the power of minus lambda into lambda to the power of x by. I repeatedly saying in all the videos, we can write the factorials as x factorial or r factorial has x into x minus 1 factorial. So I can easily cancel this x and this x. And e to the power of minus lambda, I am taking it outside because it is considered as a constant. If you have the x term in your PMF, then it is considered as a variable. If you don't have x in these terms, then it is considered as a constant. So we don't have x in e to the power of minus lambda. So I am writing it outside. Therefore, summation x is equals to 0 to infinity x into lambda to the power of x by x into x minus 1 factorial, and I am cancelling this x and this x. So I remaining with e to the power of minus lambda into summation x is equals to 0 to infinity lambda to the power of x by x minus 1 factorial. So see here, I am writing this lambda to the power of x as lambda to the power of x minus 1 into lambda to the power of 1. Here the bases are same, so we add the powers. Lambda to the power of x minus 1 plus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 cancel and we get lambda to the power of x. So I can write lambda to the power of x as lambda to the power of x minus 1 into lambda to the power of 1. And therefore e to the power of minus lambda into summation x is equals to 0 to infinity lambda to the power of x minus 1 into lambda to the power of 1 by x minus 1 factorial. See here, we have here this is the PMF, lambda to the power of x. In the place of x, we have x minus 1. So x is equals to x minus 1. And we have taken x is equals to 0. Therefore, x minus 1 is equals to 0. If we take this one outside, then we get x is equals to 1. So now we got x is equals to 1. Therefore, this lambda is a constant because there is no x term in this. So I am taking this outside. E to the power of minus lambda into lambda summation x is equals to 1 tends to infinity. Therefore, lambda to the power of x minus 1 divided by x minus 1 factorial. So here I can denote that here summation x is equals to 1 to infinity. So I can write this term as in this way, e to the power of minus lambda into lambda. Therefore, lambda to the power of x minus 1 by x minus 1 factorial when x is equals to 1 plus lambda to the power of x minus 1 by x minus 1 factorial when x is equals to 2 plus lambda to the power of x minus 1 by x minus 1 factorial when x is equals to 3 plus lambda to the power of x minus 1 by x minus 1 factorial when x is equals to 4 and so on up to x is equals to infinity. Therefore, e to the power of minus lambda into lambda. Therefore, lambda to the power of x minus 1. X is equals to 1. Therefore, 1 minus 1 divided by 1 minus 1 factorial plus lambda to the power of x is equals to 2. Therefore, 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 divided by x minus 1, 2 minus 1 factorial. And lambda to the power of x is equals to 3. 3 minus 1 by 3 minus 1 factorial plus lambda to the power of x is equals to 4. 4 minus 1 by 4 minus 1 factorial and so on up to infinity. Therefore, e to the power of minus lambda into lambda. 1 minus 1 is 0. Therefore, lambda to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Therefore, 1 divided by 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 factorial is equals to 1. Therefore, 1 plus lambda to the power of 2 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1 and lambda to the power of 1 is lambda. Lambda by 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 factorial is 1. Therefore, 1 plus 3 minus 1 is 2. Lambda to the power of 2 by 2 factorial plus lambda 4 minus 1 is 3 by 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 factorial plus so on up to infinity. And here, carefully see here, we got 1 plus lambda square by 2 factorial plus lambda cube by 3 factorial plus lambda to the power of 4 by 4 factorial and so on. If you remember the formula, I'll write here e to the power of t is equals to 1 plus t square by 2 factorial plus t cube by 3 factorial plus t to the power of 4 by 4 factorial and so on. Here the parameter is t. So we got e to the power of t. Here lambda. So we get e to the power of lambda, which is in the same form. See this formula and here. So you can easily understand. So we can substitute here e to the power of minus lambda into e to the power of lambda. So multiply this one. We get, here the bases are same. So we add the powers. Therefore, e to the power of minus lambda plus lambda into lambda. E to the power of minus lambda plus lambda becomes e to the power of 0. So, e to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So, 1 into lambda. 1 into lambda is equals to lambda. So, we got the mean mu1 dash or mu1. The mean of the Poisson distribution is equals to lambda. I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubts, please give me in the comment box and please like and share to your friends, which can be useful to them also. And Subscribe to my channel. Thank you all.